Control, this is Agent Ogren. I need a request to open up cell 311.
FreeMe Podcast. FreeMe Podcast.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Okay. So this is the day. Today's the day, man. First and foremost, let me give my blessings to all my subscribers, everybody tuning in today. Give my blessings to everybody, around the world, man, that is just going through strife, going through hard times, Many blessings to you guys, and Lord is with you. And just know that with believing in yourself, you can get through it, man. You don't need nobody else. So pick yourself up and just get it done. So I'm a little disheveled this morning, so bear with me. Let me get my bearings. I'm sitting here watching my stocks drop. So this is really a good episode to talk about manipulation and corruption. We're going to be getting into it here soon with Trinity. It's going to be the first call. And Trinity, in the last episode, briefly shared that he's been incarcerated for 17 years, I believe, if I remember correctly. And that'll be at 10:30. I'm going to make the first call. So other than that, some of the things I've been dealing with, I don't know if you guys know, but you can check out my foundation. It is www.cominghomecoalition.com. And what I do is I deal with inmates that are coming home, or people that are getting ready to go to prison. So re-entry consultant is what I am. And I'll work with these guys. I'll work with the families. In these situations, right, a lot of times we don't know who to trust. We don't even know what attorney to trust. We don't even know what attorney to call. And every attorney is going to say that they're the man for you, right? But in reality, every attorney is not for you. There's very few attorneys that are for you in your specific case. So when it is time to start looking for these attorneys, right, you may need help in searching the right attorney for your case involved. So I help in those things. I help in education, mentorship. I can help young ones that are incarcerated, that are getting ready to come home, that need leadership, need mentorship, need a man in their life to explain men things to them, and show them how to think like a man and act like a man within society, right? Because that's what we're lacking today, is leadership from our men. So you can check that out, www.cominghomecoalition.com. In the description is a link to my, actually on the page, the link on the page is my store, my merchandise. You can help me help you by visiting the store, purchasing some of the stuff in the store, and that generates funds for me to continue to do the things that I do. So for me, it's all about help. It's all about unity. There's a lot of injustice going on in the world, and a lot of it is in our criminal justice system. If you fully, truly understand what happened with Bill Cosby, then you can grasp what I'm saying. It's not conspiracy theories. It's not some, crazy thought out, all inmates, all convicts say that they're innocent thing, right? It's not that. We're finding out, which I've known most of my life, that our law enforcement, our criminal justice system is very, very corrupt. And Something has to be done about it. So that is what a lot of my channel deals with, right? Is getting these things done. Getting to the bottom of it. I have DJ Vodka coming up. He is author of The Green Wall, which he is an ex-CO in some of California's toughest prisons. And he is known as what you call a whistleblower because he spoke out against some of the corruption that he saw going on within that organization, within that little clique, that crew of deviant mindsets that are in law enforcement in positions of power. And a lot of that goes unheard to the public, you know. We don't want to hear about these things, man, because we look at it like these dudes, these people are prisoners. They shouldn't have done what they done to get themselves into trouble, right? They shouldn't even be in these positions, that they're murderers, they're rapists. If these things are happening to them, they deserve it. Good for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for the victims. Things of this nature. These are a lot of what we hear day in and day out. I hear this every day. Promise you, I hear these types of monikers every day. And a lot of that is based upon miseducation and stigma that media, right, the devil that it is, has put out and has been used, right, as scare tactics, propaganda agenda for the government to further their business, to keep their business churning, right? This is why we have over 2 million people incarcerated now, because it's a business, right? So, in 8 more minutes, I will be calling. I don't have no water or nothing. So, this is the premise of my show. You know, this is the premise of who I am. There's a lot of convict shows out there, you know, and, you know, it's just guys up there talking about experiences, you know, and they'll bring other people onto the show to talk about their experiences. And, you know, a lot of it is ego, a lot of it is exaggerated, you know, it's just not factual. This is why I bring people on that has factual evidence to tie in to the things that I say, because I just don't want you to listen to me and take my word for things. I want you to know who I am first and foremost and what I'm about, and see that this is real, because it's important. People are going to prison every day, and people are going to prison. Yes, maybe they make decisions, right, based upon emotion. 99% of the people in prison are based upon emotional decision making, right? Reactive emotional decision making. And because of the justice system and the way that it is, right, they will stack charges on top of you. They will further their agenda. They will do what they have to do to enhance their careers, their agenda, because you decided to step into their world. You see what I'm saying? And that's how they look at it. You put yourself in this position, which is true. All of these things are true. That's how I had to learn. That was what I had to learn when I had to sit there, right, and watch people that I grew up with, people that I would have died for, right? People that I broke bread with every day, all day long, in every situation, right? Point their fingers at me and lie and make up things so that they didn't have to do their time. Some of these characters would have only gotten 2 or 3 years, and they didn't even want to do that. Yet they wanted me to do 20 years, knowing that I just had a child, right? So to sit there and watch these people do this to me, it changed me in ways that I don't think I could ever go back. I don't think I could ever trust anybody again, especially the way that the prosecutor in my case was lying, just making things up to fit the narrative, right? But when it came to answering detailed questions, it couldn't be done. It was just, for example, okay, well, if I'm responsible for all of this weight that you're trying to attribute to me, where is the money? Where is the money? There was no trace of no money anywhere, right? No trace of no money. No cars, no houses, no bank accounts, no wire transfers, nothing. I was just to pay bills, and to feed myself, to feed the little family I thought I was building. That's it. So when it came to answering these questions, those couldn't be answered, right? The answer that they gave in court, that the prosecutor gave, was it went to buying more drugs. So the money I was making went to buying more drugs. However, the whole trial was based upon, and all the testimony was based upon, the fact that drugs were fronted to me. So it's these types of discrepancies that go unchecked and unheard, right? And it goes overlooked, So because I'm guilty of selling drugs, and because I'm guilty of that, and they know that I'm guilty of that, they'll put whatever they want on me. It does not matter. They don't care. That's the point. They did not care about me as an individual that did not have the proper skill set and training to evolve in society. They didn't care about that. They didn't care about how to fix that within me. All they cared about was their agenda. So 1028, man, let's ride. Let's do this, man. Let's call these. I know right now these people sitting in this room, anxious, chained down, shackled. Here we go.
To the Chippewa Correctional Facility. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. For the facility's physical address, please press 1. For visiting information, press 2. For information on sending money to a prisoner, press 3. To dial by name, press 4. If you would like to reach prisoner accounting, please dial 906-495-5045. If you are unsure with whom you need to speak, please dial 0 or stay on the line for the operator. If you would like to repeat this message, please press 9. Wait while I transfer your call.
I didn't get an extension.
Chippewa Correctional Facility Officer Lightfoot.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing? This is
Good, yourself?
I'm blessed, man. Thank you for asking. So this is Thomas Harold. I'm with FreeMe Podcast, and I have 3 interviews set up today. And the first interview is with Trinity Matthisen.
Okay, let me put you over there just a minute here.
/ home ownership. Mishta, your best way home.
Do you want an inspiring career that shapes the...
I get nervous, man. Just hearing these people, man, be giving me anxiety for real. Come on, man. And I'm doing this so that you, America, the world, can kind of get a glimpse of what it is that we have to go through every day when we want to call and just get a question, connect with somebody, anything of that nature. Anytime you try to call any correctional facility, this is what you get. See what I'm saying? This is what you get. So I want you guys to experience this and imagine, right, that you're trying to find out information on your loved one, your
Correctional facility. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at... Wait while I transfer your call.
Chippewa Correctional Facility, Officer Lightfoot.
Hey, Officer Lightfoot, this is Thomas with FreeMe Podcast again. Nobody picked up that line.
Let me put you on hold.
Okay, thank
Michigan.
you.
The Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development invests in you. Visit michigan.gov/MDARD and click on Grow My Food and Ag Business.
Man, Michigan, stop it. You ain't about nobody. More propaganda.
The Michigan Department of Transportation reminds you that when a vehicle collides with another vehicle, person, or other object, it is a crash, not an accident. By reducing human error, we can prevent crashes and rebuild Michigan roads safely.
Emailing
Don't forget
the
your
lady
recreation
now.
passport when renewing your license plate with the Secretary of State.
Cutting in on my time. Cutting in on my big homie's time.
Trails and waterways all year long.
Oh,
When you
man.
purchase the recreation passport, you're also investing in the future of our natural resources and the state and local parks that.
But I will say this, man. I will say this. They have been very, very communicative. I'm not gonna say her name, but the lady that I've been dealing with, she's been very nice, very communicative.
COVID-19, but the pandemic isn't over yet. Continue to wear a mask, stay at least 6 feet from others, and wash your hands frequently. Get tested if you have symptoms, and get the first vaccine available to you. Visit.
Thank you for holding, sir. I'm going to go ahead and transfer you now.
Hey, thank you, man.
Yep. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, this Thomas?
Hey, Big Trin, man, what's going on, partner?
way, man. That's prison, man. Sometimes it happens like that, but they got to figure it out.
Hey, man, it was beautiful that it did, because I gave a rundown to the people as it was going on, man. Like, this is what we got to go through every day as families trying to find out information, call the institution. This is what we got to go through, man. So,
yeah, it's definitely part of it, man. But honestly, if this place has a warden, man, that's very progressive named Connie Horton, and if it wasn't for her and Special Acts Marty Terrian, then these type of things probably wouldn't happen. And National Lifers Association, it's a group we have here called National Lifers Association, and we meet and we exchange information, strategize, keep up on bills being passed and being presented, petitions people out there doing, and this is how we educate ourselves, and try to stay up with what's going on, and create awareness amongst ourselves and to the world. But like all these things are things that they allow us to do, man, and they actually allow some programming for some prisoners, run by prisoners. So, luckily for that, we have that, man, and it makes this possible, and people like you as well. So I appreciate you, man. I really do.
hey, man, I got to do it for the convicts, man, for real, because I know how it is in there, man. And even, like I tell Temujin, man, because Temujin and I's interviews, man, run 3-4 hours. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to, like he says, man, I know you got to go. I tell him, T, man, listen, don't worry about it, man. You're out of the cell. If I can keep you out of the cell all night, let's do it. Let's run it, man. I'll stay with you. You know what I mean? I know what it is, man. I know it. You can't explain that feeling of hanging up the phone with the world and having to go back to your cell. You can't explain that feeling of watching your loved ones leaving that visitation, knowing you got to go back to your cell. These things just can't be explained. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
they really can't.
I know, and I feel you, partner, and I love you for the strength that you're enduring to go through this here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it that you do this for lives, not for likes, man. Because you have spoke before how people do a lot of things, just try to get their likes up, as gratification, all that. But it's quite obvious, bro, that you're really in here for the people. Like, you trying to shed light on situations, man, and what's going on with the criminal justice system. I mean, it's quite obvious that you can't just reform. You can't just scrap everything. It just ain't gonna work. We need police, and some people are gonna have to come to prison. It's just how life is. The people out there doing dumb shit, they're going to have to come in here and they're going to have to figure it out, man, and mature and become different people. But the problem is that people don't get let out of prison, especially in this state. Now, I got this stat that at least 5% of people who get convicted by a jury are innocent. That don't seem like a lot, but when you add up, if it's, 2 million people in prison in America, or however many it is, I don't know the exact number, I'm just throwing that out there. 5% of that, man, that's a lot of people. That's a minimum of how many people in here are innocent. And I know a lot of people don't really look at it like that or understand that, but this is happening, man. There's people in here, and they're dying in here, man, and all the people are dying in the world, and these people are innocent. They did not commit the crime that they're in here for, and that's a major issue. Now, on another note, the USA has about 5% of the world's population, yet it has 40% of the world's life sentences. And Michigan has the highest percent in the nation. In 2019, Michigan was at 49% life sentences. Now, that is crazy, man. 49% of the population, and I can't tell you what they're considering life. That's not just saying life without parole. There's some type of cutoff number that they consider is life, and I don't know what it is, what number they're using, whether it's 20 years or 40 years. But at the end of the day, it's telling you in the very least that people are getting sentenced to long, indeterminate sentences. And that's almost as big of a problem as people getting sentenced and they're wrongly convicted. Because let's just look at it like 20 years ago, Thomas. Look at yourself 20 years ago. You're not that same person you was 20 years ago. Anybody listening, look at yourself 20 years ago. All right, now it's exceptions to every rule. Everybody's not going to age up out of crime. But scientifically, they know that people do tend to age out of crime. People tend to mature. People tend to, get a different understanding on life. Be not so impulsive throughout the years. They know if you take a rock with sharp edges, because time smooths everything. like I said, there's always exceptions. Take a rock with sharp edges and dump in the middle of a river, all right? That water, that sand, that sediment's going to rub up against that rock, and over time, them sharp edges is going to get smoothed out, man. And that's what people are missing. Like, it's like we're in here, and some of us, not all, but a large portion of people go through a metamorphosis, you know what I'm saying? And once that caterpillar turns to that butterfly, metamorphosis is taking place, but you're still stuck in a cage. You can't even get out there and show the world the beauty of that metamorphosis and the beauty of the person that you are and the beauty of what you can do for society, man. Because it's like, I'm going to tell you, the most grateful person you might ever see in your life, man, is a person whose sentence has been overturned because they're in there for a wrongful conviction. And that's sad because this person grateful. If I get out tomorrow, I got to be grateful to get back what I never should have lost. But those people tend to be some of the most productive people in society. You know what I mean? Just think about, like, people that get out, they don't get to shine, though. If some jagoff gets out tomorrow and does shoot some people up for no reason or even for a reason in the middle of daylight, all this, that's going to be on the news. Man gets released from prison and shot people in broad daylight. If 20 people get out tomorrow and they start nonprofits and they do things to bring awareness to criminal justice, to what's wrong with it and wrongful convictions, and they create a business for themselves and they do well, get married, have children, educate themselves, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's showing that. But that's happening. For every one of them jagoffs, there's 20 of those.
Let me tell
you. The people that's in the middle. You know that. People get out and they're trying to figure it out.
Let me tell you this quick story here, right, Trent? So I get out and I'm on the bracelet. I'm on the monitor, right? This big 20-pound, metal thing to the side of my ankle, right? You can't hide this thing. Is the point that I'm trying to make, right? So I'm on this monitor, and I end up having a pulmonary embolism, right? A blood clot in my lung in the middle of the night, and I had to go to the hospital. Yeah, it was serious, man. It was crazy. So long story short, I go to the hospital. Now I'm in the hospital a couple of days, and my girl is in there, and she's constantly like keeping my monitor covered. And me, I'm a convict, man, and I really just don't care about what people think. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's not how we have to. It's not how we can be out here in society. So her and I were sitting, we were talking about this, and she keep covering it up. So on the third or fourth day, she wasn't there. It was out. Now the female doctor comes in that's been dealing with me now for the past 3 days. Okay. So now she comes in, and when she sees this, she asks me, "What is that?" So I explained to her what it is. Do you know, she left out of that room, didn't take didn't ask me no questions or nothing like that. She turned around, said that she had a meeting she had to go to, whatever, and I didn't see that doctor not one more time. I was there for another 2 days. So
instant prejudice.
But it's systemic, as everyone is yelling around here about systemic racism, systemic this, systemic that. It's because of, right, the stigma that's been put out there, on exactly everything that you just said. We can't change. We won't change. We're animals. Look at these shows. All you got to do is just go watch Locked Up for 30 minutes. You can see these guys don't need to get out. You know what I mean? And
right.
That's where we're at. But at the end of the day, let me say this, because I do want to point this out, right? And I always want to say this when I'm speaking this, because I never ever want to take away from the victims and the victims' family of all of these occurrences, right? Because at the end of the day, somebody did lose their life. Somebody lost their life on a day that they didn't plan to lose their life. You know what I mean? And this is going on rapidly and all over the world. We're just waking up, we kiss our family goodbye, and the next thing you know, we're eliminated because of emotional decisions. So
guaranteed. And here's the thing is, you're right, man, that there's victims on the other side of this, and some people are wrongfully convicted, and people don't understand why they don't show remorse because they actually didn't do it. I'm sure they're sorry that the whole situation happened, but they're kind of in their own muck. Like, man, I'm in here. You lost a family member, and so I'm sorry for that, but I didn't take your family member, and I'm here paying for it. But sometimes people just want that lamb to sacrifice. It don't really matter if you did it because within humans, man, if I could just justify that somebody's paying for it, I ain't gonna think about if that's the right person. Just somebody pay for it and lie, and maybe that'll make me feel a little better about it. But it really shouldn't, because now it's two people gone, and maybe both innocent. I don't know the circumstance. Every circumstance is different, so you can't really say what happened in each murder or each time somebody dies. But at the end of the day, I've seen people, man, where they're like victims' family, and they've shown where they've actually forgiven and actually become involved in the people's life. And it's crazy to think that, but they just look at it like, man, don't let my loved one's loss be for nothing, man. Do something with yourself, create a change, become something. You know what I mean? I've literally seen this on different shows, different programs, where people take that approach, and that's amazing to me. But it's transcending, man. It's great. It's a very high ground, but that builds, man. That fixes both sides. A lot of people are broken, man. A lot of people that we go through, like you say, it's systemic, man. It's systemic. Like the things that's going on, people get numb. You think that the police officers that don't see shootings and murders every day don't get a hard heart? Like, they get numb, man. You see what I'm saying? And shit gets dehumanized. It even happens to people in war, and it even happens to people that, whatever, gangs and bad neighborhoods that's shooting it out every day. They become numb to the human aspect of shit, man. And this is just, it's almost a detachment from reality. And when that happens, you don't have that human side of it no more. And it just, get this motherfucker out the way, lock him up. If he didn't do it, he probably did something else. Let's go. Let's get him. Boom, boom, boom. And oftentimes, both sides are scared. If they come to talk to me about something, man, whether I did it or not, I'm worried, because I know that it don't matter if I actually did it. I could still go to prison for the rest of my life. If they're coming to talk to me, I could be through, man. Innocent as could be, and I'm out of there. And 9 times out of 10, they got in their mind like, this guy's armed and dangerous. He might shoot, and everybody's high strung, and people end up shooting it out with the police. Whatever dumb shit people do. But it's just saying, I'm not justifying one thing or the other, but I'm saying for every circumstance, it's conditions that create them circumstances. And you would be crazy to say we don't need police or we don't need a criminal justice. That's insane. Motherfuckers need police, man. It's just
Man, listen, that's these motherfuckers out here, man, pushing this agenda, man. That's these motherfuckers out here misinforming people, right, and pushing this agenda crap. But I want to say something again, because what you're saying, dog, is spot on, right? Is spot on, and so what I want to do is provide an example of what it is that you're talking about when you say that how we can create scenarios and environments that create chaos, right? So,
right.
Are you familiar with the 16-year-old girl that was in the news that the cop pulled up on the scene and shot, that she was getting ready to stab the other girl?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Familiar with it.
Okay. So this is what I want to say about this here, because I know you know what I'm talking about, because I know you see this crap every day, right? How many times did you see, Trin, that when the police come around, motherfuckers will start acting up in front of the police?
Right. Stick their chest out because they know they could be saved if shit goes sideways.
Amen. So now when that cop arrives on that scene and that boy runs up all of a sudden and kicks the girl, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my point is that we can't always fault these officers for the situations. We have to look at ourselves sometimes and ask ourselves, what kind of chaos are we creating for these officers to come into? You see what I'm saying? Because I seen it every day in prison, where motherfuckers will bolster up when they know that the police is on their way, because just like you heard Trent say, they know that the police are there to save them if shit goes sideways for them. But yet they still look hard. Man, fuck that, we bucking, all this crap. Man, sit your ass down. Sit your ass down, man.
For sure. I get it. But but don't get it wrong though, because as you said and I said, listen, it doesn't really matter though if the criminal justice system, if it's corrupt by design or if it just morphed into that. The shit don't really matter, man. We really do gotta evaluate how we go about the whole thing, because like the rest of the world has already concluded, bro, that life sentences is inhumane and it should only be used in the rarest of cases, if at all. But the U.S. has doubled down on that shit, man. There's no way we could just scrap. Put it like this: I tell all that gangster shit. Oh man, hey, if you call the police, you a snitch, man. We don't need no police, man. We handle in the streets. Oh, well, my mama ain't in the streets, man. My mama's a regular. The police is how she's supposed to handle. If somebody come in there and rape my sister, or my mama got arrested when she was alive, they're not supposed to call the police, man. That shit is fucking preposterous. What are you talking about? Just put all that super gangster shit down. They serve a purpose, man. You need that type. You need some structure to society, man. But at the end of the day, like the way the shit is going through laziness. See, a lot of times shit ain't really being solved for the person who did the shit to be solved, man. You could put in my case, like the first one they get a hitch on. Oh, here's somebody we got to lead. Oh, this motherfucker got a record. He'll do. Why are we gonna put all this work and man hours into this shit when this guy will serve? Let's get his ass. We can easily just arrange it around him, and it happens. You know what I mean? And then the prosecutor, once it comes to the prosecutor, you think it's the prosecutor's job to prove you didn't do the shit or to even give a fuck? It's not their job to investigate nothing. It's their job to get a conviction. That's what they do. They prosecute. They're not no investigator. So when it comes to their shit, once that comes to their desk and here's the charge, they're going to put forth the charges, and they're going to go all gas. They trying to cook you because that's their position in their mind, is to cook you. And maybe that's a problem, man, because they gain accolades, they gain career off convictions. In every situation, that means a lot of people are getting sacrificed along the way for conviction, for a career. Whether they even look at it like that or not is really happening, man. And if maybe we slow down and really look at this shit.
Well, not only, but this is a key element. Not only is their job convictions, but they have pure immunity, right, in doing that. You see what I'm saying? That's the key element. It's not, yes, getting their job. Their job is getting convictions, no question, right? But when you have immunity doing that, when you know that you could just barrel through any wall and you can't get hurt, then that's exactly what you're going to do. You're just going to hulk through everything, trying to get as many convictions as you can, because you can do that. So.
And guess what happens? Bro? So when after all these years, I'm through this bitch. I got a 6th grade education. This is me. This is the truth. I got a GED. So I've been to the 6th grade. Last grade I completed, man. And here I am in this fucking law library trying to decipher this shit, which law is really not so much factual as opinion. When you read law, is this court's opinion, this court's opinion, this court's opinion. Fucking, how do you judge opinion? But anyway, long story short, what I'm getting at is, through all that, I finally figured shit out, uncovered shit through years. Look at this they did, look at this they did, look at this they did. I've been telling people, and you finally present it, and they even let you get back. They fight tooth and nail, man. The court might remand some shit, and the prosecutor's still gonna fight it, gonna challenge it, gonna appeal it, even when they see dead to rights that you didn't do it, or they went about the shit in the wrong way, illegally, or however you go about it. But they're not gonna get in trouble. But just on the fact of reputation, they don't want it out, man. Because sometimes they do shit so, you know.
And if you don't believe that, if you don't believe what Trinity's saying, all you gotta do is research Kamala Harris, our vice president.
Bam, yeah, they don't know about Kamala, man. And that's another thing, is Kamala talking that criminal justice reform shit right now because that wind is blowing. But when she was in Cali and she was whatever was the attorney general, whatever, man, there's a man on death row, man, and she had the goods to know that he didn't do it, man. And she sat on that, and she didn't move to save that man's life. At the time, it probably wasn't politically feasible. And that's another problem, man. So people making careers out of people's lives. So
Trinity, I want to get into you. This last half hour, I got you for another 30 minutes. So what I want to know is how is it that you only got to the 5th grade? How is it that you ended up? How did your life end up to the day of you in a store planning on robbing somebody and then getting charged with murder?
Okay. Well, first of all, just quick fact check. I'm not in here for murder or robbery. I'm in here for assault with intent to murder. Now I'll get into that. Sixth grade is because I was a little badass baby kid, man. A little white dude, grew up in a black neighborhood, sometimes in a Mexican neighborhood. Bad as hell, man. Chest out all the time, doing twice as much as anybody else, trying to show that because I'm white don't mean that I ain't with the shit. And I got in trouble all the time. Kicked out of schools, was in juvie, been to prison 3 times in Colorado where I'm from, and every time I played out because I did this shit. You know what I mean? Went in there, did my time, didn't cry about it. I really thought that's what you do in life. That's like college. You go to the pen. And I did that, bro. And as I matured and got older, I started realizing this shit is stupid. I ain't getting nowhere. None of us is getting nowhere. And I started, changing my way of thinking. The last time I was in the pen was for a flea in a halfway house. And while I was in there, I decided to come to Michigan. My mama had come to Michigan while I was in the pen in Colorado. So I was like, let me just roll out there, try to get a new start, man. Nobody knows me. I don't know nobody. And that's what I did. I shot out here. I had a wife. She came out here, set up shop, got a house, everything. I got a job, a good job. I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't doing none of that bullshit. But what I was doing is I was still creeping around on my wife, fucking other women, going to nightclubs, hanging out, because I missed all that because I was in jail and I was too young, so I really didn't experience that. Even though it wasn't nothing to experience, but I didn't know that. I thought I had missed something. And that's what I was doing. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what happened, I had been jumped 2-3 times already in Michigan. My parole officer seen me come lumped up, like, what the hell? So this particular time, everybody had a club, and they invited an after party to the house, a house of one of a girl who I used to creep with. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I stay there because I work with somebody else that lived in the house, and we picked up our paychecks Friday morning. So I lived about an hour away, so I might stay there Thursday night and pick up my paycheck Friday and then go to work Friday and maybe even stay Friday night. So this is that type of scenario. So it's a bunch of people, maybe 40 people in this little house all come in. And at first, the people live there like, man, how y'all get out, man? Get the fuck out of here. There's no way, too many people. I don't even know who invited y'all. So we tell them, hey, leave, man. They don't want you here. Do that, they kind of change their mind, like, all right, it's straight. Just move this table, do this, that, and the other. So we do that. Now, I'm sitting there chilling. I've been to the pen too many times. I don't know nobody. So I'm not like the social butterfly. I just ain't, you know how it is when you've been to the pen. I'm just looking at everybody like, man, what these motherfuckers? Somebody's already talking about bringing the gun. All type of stupid shit. Like, do I need the Mac, dog? Like, no, you don't need the Mac. Just bring the pistol. I'm like, what the fuck? So they in there, man. Now, motherfuckers is the craziest shit, man. This dude, he challenging motherfuckers to rap battles. I know the guy, though. He's a white dude, too. And 8 Mile just came out. I don't know if that's his fucking inspiration, but he just does this shit all the time out of nowhere. Aggressive as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just walking like, what? It just starts rapping at people. So they doing that a couple times. I'm like, hey, chill out, man. People don't really understand what you want, man. It's kind of weird for real, but just chill. So that shit blow over. Now, people drunk, man. They turned up whatever, and a fight break out. It's like 2 sides. It's 2 groups of people, all right? And they just get the brawl. I try to break it up, like go outside, man, take that shit outside, do what you want outside, but don't tear these people's house up. Get the fuck on. And basically, the both sides got to stomping my ass out. So I'm up under the pile, dude on top of me, socking me up. I'm getting kick stomped, and somebody lets off, gets to shooting, boom, 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 boom. Now the dude on top of me, who's punching me, gets shot, and the other dude right beside him, who's stomping and kicking me, gets shot. Now, mind you, I'm right-handed, so this dude's on top of me. He gets shot on his left side. Boom, boom. Comes through his left side twice. The other guy got shot in the chest. So, another guy got pistol whipped or shot. We still don't know because nobody really figured out which one it was, but he had a wound on his head, So the party starts clearing out. I'm on parole from out of state. Have I seen shit like this? Unfortunately, I've seen shit like this. So it's time for me to get the fuck on. I don't live here. Everybody else getting on. Let's go. So I do that. I leave. Boom. Go home. Well, here they come. They come get me. I hear him telling my wife, like, is he here? The people are shot. You might as well go back to Colorado. He ain't never getting out of prison. This is what they saying before they even spoke a word to me, man. Yeah. Mind you, I ain't shooting nobody. I just got my ass beat. My face swole up, my hands swole up. I'm like, what? But I'm hearing this. So automatically I'm like, oh shit, I'm cooked.
Yeah.
I have no. They said I did it. I'm through. So they come talk to me, this, that, and the other and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now here's some stupid shit I did in the moment, but you don't think in the moment when it's survival instincts. As the guy, it's a guy pulling all of us up off the pile. I'm probably around middle of the pile, and it was a gun right there. I picked that bitch up. The bitch already empty or whatever. It's got blood all along it, so you could tell it was sitting in a puddle of blood. And I grabbed that bitch, man, and ran out with it, just thinking like, if it's in my hand, I ain't gonna get shot with it. But it's after all the shooting shit, you know what I'm saying? So, in retrospect, if I had clear sight, I wouldn't have did no shit like that because it looks bad. But that's what I did. You know what I mean? Because I'm grabbing that bitch so I don't get shot with it. Anyway, we go to court, whatever, man. Nobody says they seen me shoot anybody. A lot of people say all type of crazy shit in the beginning. The one man who was on top of me punching me told the truth in court. He's like, man, I was on top of this guy punching him and I got shot. I was acquitted on that one. The other man who got shot was drunk as a skunk. His blood alcohol turned out he was drunk as a skunk. He got shot. He said I shot him. I'm thinking too, like, why would this dude say this? Like, did they got something on him? Is he truly mistaken? Why would he say I shot him? All right. Well, they cooked me on him. I got found guilty. They gave me 40 to 70 years and 2 for the gun. Mind you, if I really would have done this in Colorado, it's self-defense. They wouldn't have charged me.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they did, I would have beat it. Even in Michigan right now, 2006, they passed a self-defense law. If I would have been the shooter, they wouldn't have charged me. If I wouldn't have been the shooter, I doubt they would have charged me with assault intent to murder, because now that they got the self-defense law, it's a stretch. You know what I mean? But anyway, long story short, my lawyer don't bring up a lot of stuff, man, but you don't see this till you get your shit and start digging through it. Did you know the man that said I shot him, first of all, he was on probation at the time, okay, for drunk driving or whatever, felony probation. The day after he testified, he was released from probation. Literally the very next day. I dug all this up on my own because I'm trying to figure out, like, why would he say I did the shit? Okay, they got something on him. Now, that's circumstantial. I don't have proof of a paper giving him a deal or a threat, and I don't have him saying it or a prosecutor saying it, so that's nothing when it comes to the courts. That don't get it done, man. Another thing I come across in my paperwork, what my lawyer don't bring up, when they asked the man who shot you, he said tall with braids. They said, was he black or white? He said light-skinned. Now, this is a black man. Black folks don't refer to white people as light-skinned.
No.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I had braids, but I'm still looking white as hell. You know what I mean? It's obvious I'm white. So he said this twice, 2 different times. They asked him on the scene, they asked him at the hospital a few days later. And both times, he said he was shot by a light-skinned man. Now, I never knew this until I'm already convicted in prison. My lawyer never challenged it, never brung it up. The people who owned the house found 5 witnesses, man, who said, I'll talk to them, I seen what happened, it wasn't him, a black dude did the shooting, I seen it. They said, oh, they got their names and information, gave it to them, and they never talked to none of them. Like, oh, we couldn't find them. Now, if they was a prosecution witness, they would have found their ass. If they was against me, we couldn't find them. So there's never a witness on my behalf, and there's only one person saying they seen me shoot anybody, and that's the man who was on probation, who originally said he was shot by a light-skinned man with braids, who originally said that twice. And here I sit, bro, for 40 to 70 years and 2 for the gun. Now, what I have going for me in my mind is, man, there's 40 people there. Some people have seen it, but mind you, I'm not from this state. I didn't go over none of these people. I don't know these people. I don't know the names of these people. So how do I find these people? It's hard. So through the years, you just come across people from there. Hey, man, you know this or that or whatever. Like,
it's a
yeah,
small
I think
world.
I know them. And, yeah, you try to network and see if you could track any of them down. And actually, in here talking, you've been to the joint, so you know what dudes in the day room, man, and the law library on the anywhere we at, it's a common denominator. Somebody talking about their fucking case.
Yeah.
And I always do. I always be like, man, this some bullshit, man. I'll get my ass beat. I'll be breaking up a fight.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I'm talking about it to a guy. And matter of fact, to a guy that you're gonna talk to later, John. And we're talking about it. You know, I ain't really saying no names of where it happened at. Matter of fact, I did say where it happened at Battle Creek, but I didn't say, like, the name of the person got shot, nothing like that. And then a few days later, dude come up to me, man, and pulled me to the side, like, man, I was there. And he told me the name of the guy who got shot. I'm like, hold on, man, you there? You seen what happened for real? You was there? Like, man, I was there, man. I know that dude. I seen what happened, bro. flat out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, he from the streets. So now my next worry is, man, would you be willing to say? And he tell me flat out, like, I don't know the dude's name or who that was. I just know I seen wasn't a white dude shooting, period. I know that. So I'm like, well, would you be willing to say that or testify to that or anything? And he said, yeah, I'll be willing to do it. So, boom, we move forward with that. But here's the thing. These people, I'm trying to find more witnesses because these people look at it like, oh, well, he's in prison. You found a guy in prison. Well, where the fuck else I'm going to find a guy? This is where I'm at in prison. The only way I'm going to find a guy is if they come to prison and they happen to be somebody that was there or seen something. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
If I found some guy that's not in prison, how the fuck?
I went through the same thing. Same thing. I had a motion based on newly discovered evidence, right?
Exactly.
I had a motion based on newly discovered evidence, and I had two dudes that were state inmates. I was federal. They were state inmates that overheard how these rats in my case were they were setting me up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they came, right? These dudes were on appeal for their cases, and they set aside their cases to come back to testify for me at my motion that they heard these people saying that. Now, these people were in jail as well. These are inmates as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
The judge ruled that my guys were inmates that were just trying to get off, you know what I mean? And they were trying to help me get off and beat the system, and they were unbelievable. But the other inmate was believable because he didn't have anything to gain. Come on, man, stop it.
Right, stop the bullshit. Guarantee he got something to gain.
Of course he does,
guarantee
man.
If them same two people would have came forward to say that you did kill somebody or do something, they would have believed him wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly, man.
You saying he did some shit? Guaranteed he did it. Yeah, sign right here. And that's the struggle, man, because that's another thing. Like, if you ask any lawyer, man, and if they're being honest, they'll tell you that once you're in the prison system, it's almost impossible to get out through the Court of Appeals or the appeal process, man, because they fight you tooth and nail. I don't care what you got, man. Remember I was telling you about about Sanchez Stewart, and the man that actually did it came forward and actually told him he did it. And it still wasn't, he was still getting shot down. But dig this. They say, well, you don't got nothing to lose because you got life in prison. Motherfucker, I do got something to lose. Like, it's just in people from the streets not to snitch on themselves even. Like, you just don't do that. But what outweighed that is this motherfucker ain't do this shit, man. And this shit is wearing on him, man. I'm just going to go ahead and let him know I really did this shit. But good news, while I was talking to DeMille yesterday, as soon as I'm done talking to DeMille, a guy pulled up on me and told me, hey, man, Sanchez just got back, man. They just overturned his shit. Which is now I haven't confirmed this or heard anything from Sanchez or seen it or been to the law library yet, which I'm going to go later on today and check it out, see if the decision's on there to know for sure. But this guy don't see why he would lie. But what people don't know is, oh, that's great, he's getting out. No, the prosecutor's going to appeal that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be tied up in the courts for some more months. And he's going to be in there for some more months. And they know he didn't do it, man. But they still just do not want to let it get away. And that's what they do every time, man. They do not want to let it get away when it's clear and present. It's just obvious that, okay, this is the wrong motherfucker. Let's let him go, man. And they just don't do it like that. I just don't. It's crazy, man. I don't
even understand. I honestly don't, because that happens frequently where the court will overturn a sentence and the prosecutor will appeal what the court just did. And this is what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. Again, I hate bringing it up, but the Bill Cosby shit, right? This was in America's face. Prosecutorial misconduct was in your face. This is what they do every day. They cut deals with each other. They work with each other to try to pull up a conviction, right? I feel bad for the victims in that case, but the victims need to be mad at the prosecutors. And I think that's what's happening, man. I think heat's starting to come down on them prosecutors for what they did, man.
Yeah. The prosecutor who retired told the next one up, like, man, don't do that. That's going to be a shitstorm. You know, I told him that we're not bringing this case so she could get the civil suit. So if you do that, it's going to end bad. She did it anyway,
She did it anyway.
Knowingly, premeditated, knowingly, man.
Yeah.
Because if she get that conviction, her career is up. Boom. But it backfired.
No question.
It backfired. And people don't really understand. Oh, it's a technicality. it's not a technicality. They play dirty, man. They play dirty. And when we play clean, they don't want to let us out. But when they play dirty, they want to still keep us in here. But the real big picture of this, Thomas, is, see, people like you, people that's listening, these people need to be involved some way or another, man, because we're going to sit in here all day because we're in here and we're going to talk about this shit. And a lot of times we're not going to be heard. Everybody don't have a voice. You know what I mean? But the whole thing is, people personally affected by the struggle, they might put forth. But we need people to hear us, man. People to hear us that don't have nobody in prison or don't really know about this stuff. Don't just listen to what I say and take that as fact. You know, the Buddha told everybody, put it to the test, man. The Buddha was telling people, just because I tell you something, and this is what I'm telling you is the way, or this will help you, don't just take that at face value. Take that and test it out, man. Put that theory to the test and see is it true. And if it's true, pay attention to what the truth is telling you, man. And that's what people got to do. But people don't understand that doing something important is usually the hardest things to do, man. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes a collective. It really does, man. And these prosecutors have a lot of power. But guess what? The people put these prosecutors in office. And when you go and vote for a president, you look at the president, but do you ever look down ballot? Do you look at these other people that you're voting for? Or do you even vote for them or know what they got going on or who these people are? Because that matters, man. That definitely matters. The congressmen, the senators, what are they in?
Well, the problem is, though, T, is you don't know, just like us, right? We don't know who our right-hand man is until the heat gets put on them. You see what I'm saying? We don't know who these prosecutors are until they get up under that arm of power. Power changes people. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. But here's something my big homie Santa always told me, bro. The little things tell you about the big things. You might not know exactly who they gonna be. You see what I'm saying? When the shit come down. But it's little hints, man, like them little Reese's Pieces that E.T. followed. That's going to tell you, man. It's going to give you signs. Just like your man that you don't know who he is till the shit get thick. Once you look back, you're like, damn, it was hints, man. It was
Amen, man. I knew this dude was a bitch, man, but I chose to keep, you know what I mean? Amen.
And it's the same thing with their get down. What are they saying? What is it that you're going to be able to hold them accountable to? And then hold them accountable. You see what I'm saying? When we did the Active Magazine, #ActiveMagazine, man, we did a write-up on a woman that was running for prosecutor. Victoria Burton Harris, or if I'm saying it wrong, maybe it's Harris Burton, excuse me, but the thing she was saying, it was real stuff, man. She was really talking about this stuff, really trying to take a look at this stuff. But Kim Worthy is entrenched. Kim Worthy is the Detroit prosecutor. She is entrenched, man. She's got ties, political ties. She ain't going nowhere. But the thing is, people need to get tired, man. People need to get tired of being tired, and they need to put people in position that's putting forth solutions and really trying to fix the problems that's creating the problems. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what people have the power to do. Is just people really be like, fuck it, man. It don't matter. The politicians are going to do what they want. What does it matter who I vote for? They're all going to fuck us over. They're all going to try, man. But you know who them politicians give a fuck about? Them votes, man. So once you're a voter and you're a collective voting block, they're going to listen to your ass. They're going to at least hear you out. Maybe they're going to get on some shady shit because they do get on some bullshit. And the more their career go up, the more they forget about what they was talking about in the beginning. I seen it happen to Republicans, Democrats, all their ass. I seen it happen to people from the streets. The more richer you get, the more you get up here, the less you think about the struggle back there. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like... It's almost like, dog, on the ballots, right? When it comes to voting, I'm sitting here thinking what you're saying, right? And it's almost like the prosecutors are probably one of the most powerful people on that ballot.
Guaranteed.
You see what I'm saying?
Guaranteed.
But yet it's still, the prosecutor is probably the most overlooked person on that ballot. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there thinking, like, if I was to vote for a prosecutor, how would I vote for this prosecutor? You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, it would probably be by party, whether they're Democratic or Republican, conservative, liberal, and then I would just look at their conviction rate of how many convictions they have. You see what I'm saying? Right. And then if their conviction rate was 99, 100%, I would say, well, damn, this person's a beast. I'm gonna vote for this person.
Right. And that's the problem. See, people also, people tribalize, compartmentalize everything, bro. So right away, Democrats is blaming Republicans. Republicans are blaming Democrats, or they say they both use when it's handy for them to use. Look at Bill Clinton with the Anti-Death Penalty Act. You know what I'm saying? In '96, they pushed that shit through. We could only have one appeal in the federal courts. But anyway, whatever works for them. So they blame each other, but it's not a Republican problem. It's not a Democratic problem. It's an American problem, man. It's people from Republican families, Democratic families. Of course, a lot of people in the hood or in the poor areas lean Democratic for different reasons or another. You understand what I'm saying? But it's everybody's problem, man. Republicans, if you want to look at it, it's a money issue. If you're fiscally responsible, you should not be throwing away and wasting money at shit that don't need it. Once again, don't worry about the correction officers' jobs. They're going to have jobs. I promise you, it's the circle of life, man. If I get out today, it's going to be 10 dudes lined up to come in here, and they ain't ready to figure it out yet that they need to tighten up and get out the bullshit and get out the streets. So you're going to have people filling beds, man, until their time come for them to do their little metamorphosis. So that's not a problem. People going to have their jobs. But at the end of the day, you don't have to just push it, load this bitch up, just spend so much money, on housing and warehousing, and really nothing to fix the problem. Before we do go, I just want to tell people, man, if y'all ain't up on Maya Moore, y'all need to look into her, man. She was a WNBA player, played for the UConn Huskies, played on the United States Olympic team at the height of her game, man. Stepped away from the game to get involved with a dude, Jonathan Irons was his name, out of Missouri, and a friend of her family, and she advocated for this dude, man. He was wrongfully convicted. It was a Brady violation, meaning that the prosecutor knew something that could, some exculpatory evidence, meaning that some evidence that could show his innocence, and they withheld it. They snuck it. They brushed it under the carpet so they could still cook him. And they went at him, and it took years, man. And Maya, she stepped away from the game. She advocated, man, and this man went home in 2019. They got married. But on ESPN, they got documentaries called 30 for 30, and they spoke on it. DeMille was just telling us about her speech she gave at the ESPYs, and we just out there talking about it. I went in, and here's a rerun of the ESPYs, and then that 30 for 30, man. And she said some powerful things, man, and she showed you that she's not from the streets. She's from middle-class black family, grew up different than this Jonathan Irons dude. But, man, she saw the humanity in it and the inhumanity in what happened to him, man, and just how easy it was for him to be forgotten. And people like Maya Moore, people like even you, Jonathan, people like Kim Kardashian, they got a platform, man. They up there, and I respect and I appreciate that they, look into this stuff. But you don't have to be a Maya Moore or a Kim Kardashian. Anybody, man, could put forth an effort and look into this stuff. Really look at what's going on. Just if you look and you dig, man, you're going to uncover some shit. And you're going to be like, what in the fuck is going on?
No question. Hey, T. Hey? Listen, the last couple minutes, right? I want you to send some messages for the kids, right? I want you, to explain to the kids that are out here doing the things that you were doing at the ages that you were doing at. And at the end of the day, right, I need these kids to understand that if Trinity would have been in his house, you know what I'm saying? In his house, studying, reading books, getting ready for school, things of that nature, he wouldn't even be in the position that he's in. You know what I mean? Right. So how do we reach those kids in that fashion?
It's not only that, bro, but especially like where I grew up, everybody's always telling you what you can't do, man. Any idea you have that ain't cool or ain't within that little script of what our get down is, man, you can't do that. You can't do that. You'll never do that. Man, don't listen to that shit, man. Let that shit be fuel, man. If you have an innovative idea, man, think that shit out. Put it forth, man. You can do shit. Motherfuckers could be more than a basketball player, more than a rapper, man. And I used to say it all the time. Coming from where I come, motherfucker ain't got no options. Man, Chauncey Billups came from where I'm from, man. Don Cheadle came from where I'm from Park Hill, Denver, Colorado, man. This motherfucker acted. This motherfucker's the coach of the Portland Blazers and the Trailblazers. You got options, but it's choices. And I get it, man, because a lot of people don't really have that father figure or that guidance, man. And that's what you feel like when you're looking up to some of the older homies and they're into bullshit, man. You really put your life in their hands. Now, you got to know who you surround yourself, man, and who you following and who you paying attention and who you emulating. Because what you think is happening right now, man, that's going to fuck you over in the long run if you ain't paying attention, man. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Everybody think what everybody does is cool, but I'm going to tell you who motherfuckers really look up to. The people outside the box, man. The people that do them and don't really give a fuck what the rest of the people think. That's what everybody want to be like, for real. Whether they admit it or not, like, damn, I wish I just didn't give a fuck about how everybody perceived me or whatever. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, a lot of that shit is, bro, we don't have nobody. A lot of our daddies in jail or dead or alcoholics and raised by grannies and whatever, and we come together and a lot of us as kids raising each other. We don't know no better. We trying to figure this shit out, man. But it's people. It's people. And a lot of the role models now, the people that do know better, that been there, like me, that could tell them right from wrong or show them a different way, I'm stuck in here, man. You get what I'm saying? We're not there to guide them, so they not getting no guidance. And they out there turned up, man, and they acting a fool, and the shit ain't no video game, man. When people die, they don't get another life. They not coming back, man. And when you come to prison, man, you stuck in this bitch. And it ain't about, oh, you get that or you get this. Man, none of that shit. All that shit a person can figure out. But what you can't figure out, man, is when you call your people and they don't answer, you wonder, are they alive, man? Or you wonder they get in a car, you wonder all type of stupid shit. Because you just tend to do that shit in here. Like, damn, are they straight? Are they all right? Or when ain't nobody writing you, or you just can't do the little simple shit, man, or it just hit you one day like, I ain't never getting out of this motherfucking, man. That shit's real, man, and that shit's a wake up, and you don't want to wake up to that shit, man. You feel me? So at the end of the day, a man gonna be a man, and of course, if you're in a rough area, people try to harm, put their hands on you, you're going to defend yourself. But don't go into life like everything is a defend yourself situation, man. Focus on you and know that you can. People going to tell you what you can't do all the time, man. Even my own people, they don't mean no harm in it. Man, you can't put together no album, man, or some people, some rappers, man. You can't put together no magazine, man. You can't put together no cookbook. You can't put together this. I'm going to put together, if I can, I'm going to try. Shit. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, you're going to see that you can do stuff, man. And what experience is the more things you do, you gain that experience and you gain confidence because you learn how to wiggle out of shit, man. Like, and I don't mean wiggle out of trouble. I mean wiggle out of scenarios where shit happens in business and life, everything. And you realize it ain't all over, man, because I can figure this out. All I got to do is keep my cool, remain calm. But I'll tell you this one more thing is I'm an example of. I got out the streets, I was working, I was doing my thing, and it wasn't what I was doing, bro. It was still situations I was putting myself in. I'm still going to the club. I'm still around people with guns. And I'm still doing shit that a grown man shouldn't really have been doing, man. I'm sitting at home with my wife like a grown man supposed to do, living my life and living for me and for my family. That's what I should have been doing, but I wasn't. So even though I wasn't out here trying to harm nobody and didn't harm nobody or none of that shit, I still am responsible for putting myself in a fucked up position while I'm on parole, man. What the fuck am I doing at a club? What the fuck am I doing in a house party? You see what I'm saying? Where people are drinking, smoking weed. Be conscious of what you put yourself into and the situations you put yourself into. Because there's consequences and repercussions for that shit. And you're going to live with them, period. And if you're willing to live with them, then live with them. And that's really what I can say to the kids in just a quick, short amount of time.
Man, that was beautiful, T, man. For real, man. That just you talking about, man, that shit brought tears to my eyes, man. Because, again, something you can't explain is the anxiety and the fear of just looking out your cell and seeing the chaplain in the dorm with you, knowing that your parents are elderly, knowing that you've been trying to call and you ain't got no answer. And now there's only one reason why the chaplain's in there. You know what I'm saying? So at least that's what we know. The chaplain may have just came to ask if he buying the dude lunch. You know what I mean? We don't fucking know. But the point is the anxiety and the fear. You know what I'm saying? It just
It's harsh, bro. I lost both my parents in here. In Colorado, I lost my daddy. Quick story. Chaplain called me, and I'm like, man, I ain't even, in church like that, a Christian. I would kind of roll with the Buddhist stuff, and dog, like, man, go see him. Another prisoner. I'm like, man, I ain't got to go see them. I'm young, and they like, go see him, bro. It's important. And I knew my daddy was sick. The chaplain told me my mama died. I'm like, what? I got on the phone with my brother, like, no, mama straight, daddy died. You know what I'm saying? That same shit about the chaplain. Then here, my mama passed a couple of years ago, man. I was real close to her, man. She's the world to me. But at the end of the day, she knew I didn't do this, but she didn't get to see me get out, man. And I didn't get to be there, to help pay for the funeral. They have problems with that, man. We had to really do a GoFundMe, and people that, got love for me helped with that. Some people from prison, man, really helped for that. Shout out to them, too, man, for really doing that. But at the end of the day, we losing people that we never getting back, man. And when I get out and when I prove that this some bullshit, I didn't do this shit, and the truth come out, man, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about me tomorrow like, oh, that's messed up, he was in it for that time. And then people that I left now has moved on and passed on, man, and changed form to another life, and I ain't gonna see them no more. And that's a reality, man. That's some shit that you wonder every day who's gonna be next, because you been here like, damn, who else? I still got some homies that still off in there, man. They still off in them streets like that, and they know I ain't really got my mind on that, but shit can happen, man. I've lost them. I lose them all the time. You don't never know who you talk to for the last time, Thomas, and that's a fucked up feeling. But it's like that in life, period, not just in prison, man. It's just hard when it's just amplified in here. Once you get thoughts, man, this shit amplified in thoughts. You get to thinking some bullshit. So I just try to stay positive with it. But yeah, man, you right on point with that.
Yeah, T, man, that shit. I feel your pain, brother, man. I really do, man. I
appreciate it.
I hate that you gotta go back to this fucking cell, man.
It's all right, bro, because I'm going to tell you what, that ain't no cell, homie. That's a lab. So I'm going back to that lab. I'm creating freedom, man, and I'm creating whatever I can that's positive. This shit don't got to define me. I'll define this shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, partner, that's what I'm talking about, man. The hell
That's the truth, bro.
Yeah.
And that's the type of people I'm around, like-minded type of people, man. And you're going to speak to a couple of them here coming up shortly, man. The mailman, this man can speak, man. He's a good dude. He's on the board of the National Lifers, man. And he got a message, man. That man can talk. And John, man, his story is incredible, bro. Just the mere mention of his name brings out trolls, man. People
listen, man. Listen, man. There's this chick that's been, and I forgot to mention it to you, man. But this chick has been already on the last one that you and I did. She's coming out talking about John is guilty. He deserves to be where he's at. He was eating people like on sandwiches or some crazy stuff. Like whatever was in this documentary, right? Is what she was. So.
Yeah, and that girl, bro. What she didn't tell you, she tried to holler at him on JPay, and he didn't holler back, flirty-wise. What she also didn't tell you is she's not even from this state. She don't know none of the people involved, man. She's just telling you what she's seen on TV. But that's how that go, man. Can't nobody get riled up about that. People uneducated or they do what they do for whatever reason, man. But if you want to know some things, ask, man. I'm open for discussion. I ain't got no problem with it, neither does he, man. If I'm saying something, if I'm speaking on something, you can always come to me, and I'm not going to, turn up on you just because you asked me a question. That's what communication is, and that's how shit gets solved, man, through communication. That's how you put forth solutions or you get understanding. So anybody got questions for me, go ahead and ask me, man. I ain't got no problem with it. I'm going to be respectful. I ask you to do the same, though. Don't come like an asshole. I'll be an asshole back or just ignore you.
Amen.
So that's all that is. But
so how
these people, go ahead.
How are they gonna do this, homie? What are they taking you out and then they're gonna bring DeMel in? Am I staying on the phone? Do I gotta call back? Do you know?
I really don't know, man. I assume they're gonna come tell me or come get me because, to be honest, they was kind of in the dark. The communication, which happens with bureaucracies, wasn't all the way on point. You know what I'm saying? So, but they figured it out to their credit. They could have been like, we don't know what the fuck you talking about. This shit ain't on schedule. Get on. But they jumped on there. The sergeant jumped on the phone, and he got to the bottom of it. He figured it out. They put me in here and made it happen. So I'm assuming that the mail should be up there, if counts clear or not. And as soon as he get here, I'm assuming they're going to come get me, and they're going to switch us out because they got us back to back. Literally, as soon as my call out ends, the mail's on. As soon as the mail ends, John is on. Yeah. The mail got a saying, too, man. It's called Free People, Free People. And this is something he started. You can hashtag Free People, check it out, man. And what he's saying in that, he's saying a few things, and he could explain it better than me. One of the things he's saying is people in the world, free people that are free, it takes them to free people in here. We need y'all, man. We can't do this. If we could do it by ourselves, people would be out, man. You know what I'm saying? But it takes people out there to give a fuck and to care and to get activated, man, and be involved. Free people, free people. It also means, he explained to me, is be free to be yourself, man. Be free to be who you are, not who you think everybody wants you to be. That shit don't help shit, man. Listen, man, I'm from the hood. They make fun of me because I listen to classic rock and roll just like I listen to rap music, man.
Me too,
like,
man. Me too.
Hey, but I fuck with it, man. But you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's just who I am, and people love me for who I am. And once you're yourself, people know you, and they can care about you. They can love you, man. Once you always got a mask on, they don't know who the fuck they're supposed to be loving or hating or whatever, man. So at the end of the day, be free to be yourself too is another part of it, man. And DeMel he's gonna explain it, and he's gonna get to it. Now, as far as your question, I really don't know because I'm in this room by myself, bro. So there's no way I could go leave up out of here. So once again, like I said, I'm assuming they will come get me, and I don't know if I just put the phone down and roll out, or if you do call back, or you know what I mean. I don't know how that works, and it also matters who knows if count clear yet, because count should be clear right around this time.
Yeah, I forgot you were counting now.
Yeah, so until count clear, usually clears right around now, any minute now. So when count clear, then DeMel will come up here, and then they'll probably swap us out.
Yeah. I remember that because that's why I told the lady. I said, well, let me get Trinity during count because I always wanted to get out of the room for count. Well, you got a celly? John is your celly, ain't he?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Where I'm at, it ain't cells. It's something called a cube. It's like a pole barn type thing. So it's 8 bunks in there. So it's like I got 8 cellies, but it's really 7 of them. Cause one of them they keep the bunk empty. So it's 7 of us in there, and there's not no door, or it's only a half wall in the front. So you're really in a whole building with everybody. I look across, I'm seeing 7 other people, and look down here, 7 more people, down there, 7 more people. So it's kind of sometimes you'd rather have a cell and have that privacy, but it really don't matter to me, bro, because wherever I'm at, man, I just create my own, you know what I'm saying, peace of mind or whatever. I don't really let none of that get to me. And unfortunately, I done did too much jailing, man. Like I hope the people out there don't think I'm sitting here trying to act like I'm some type of. I was fucked up, man. I was a badass kid and a badass young man, and I was doing a lot of bullshit, man. Flat out, yep, it was me. Who's that white dude sliding through the hood on some bullshit? It was me, bro. That's true. But that ain't who I always been, man. I'm more than the worst thing I've ever done. You understand me? So I was starting to change, and that last time I got out the joint, bro, that's why I came to another state. I had a job. I probably doing the best I ever did in my life, man, and probably one of the worst things that ever happened to me in my life happened to me at that time, bro, which is just a little more of a dagger, like it just hurts a little more because of that. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's still, I keep my chin up, I keep my head up, but I'm not trying to sit here like I've never done no wrong in my life. I've created a prejudice for myself. I created a record, man. And I did a lot of those things on that record, most of them. So when it comes time to something I didn't do, they looking at my past like, yeah, he probably did that shit. If not, he done did a lot of other shit, so fuck it. You see what I'm saying? And that's something that, looking back, like, damn, it came back to haunt me, man. A lot of people are born with a prejudice. They born with a certain skin tone or whatever, and automatically they got a prejudice on them. But I kind of created mine. With this record, it's just, I did that shit. And that's another thing I want to say. When I went to court, bro, every time I went to court, I did that shit, bro. I pled guilty, man. I own that shit, just like I do here. If I'm wrong and the CO write me a ticket, I don't argue that shit because I did. I tell them flat out, yeah, you right, man. I was on some bullshit. I did it. Give me what I got coming.
Yeah. Dudes like us, man. We took our white privilege, put it in an envelope, put that shit in the mailbox, and mailed that shit back to whoever the fuck sent that shit.
I didn't know that shit existed, man. Till later on, like I must have been using it wrong because this shit ain't never worked out for me, man. It was always
the hell is everybody talking about white privilege, man? What the hell is this shit they talk about, man?
White privilege? They on my white ass, like, man, I'm catching the flux. Like, I didn't know it was a privilege. You know what I mean? But that shit does exist, though, bro. I guess it just depends on where you at or where you came up. It didn't work out so good for me, man. But it's still scenarios where I notice it as older, like, whoa. Now, when they came and arrested me, if I was black, I'd be dead to the motherfucker. I bet you anything, bro.
Oh, no question about that.
Yeah, I was acting an ass, so. I mean, it does come into play. I just didn't know when I was little, man, because it kind of was the opposite way on me. You know what I mean? And where I'm from, the neighborhood I'm from, a lot of people outside of it look down on me. A lot of shit. Like, man, you from there, like, it's like, man, if you born in Mexico, you a Mexican. That ain't your fucking problem. You didn't make that happen.
Yeah.
This is the demographics, man. This is where I'm from. So I'm not going to turn my back or act like I ain't. I'm proud of where I'm from. I'm not proud of the shit I've done to where I'm from, but I'm proud of being from there, bro, and I got work to do. I got work to do to make that place better and other places better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely, yeah, that shit ain't worked out in my favor, bro. That white privilege. And hey, we was talking about it too. Like, man, Thomas be going for 4 hours with Kenzu, man. They be getting it in. That's a long convo, man. 4 hours, bro. Y'all,
man, we talk about, man, we talk about, man, we talk about politics. We talk about UFOs. We talk about we talk about all this racist crap going on. You know what I mean? But the most thing, the biggest thing for me, right, is to allow the world to hear how you and I, Temujin and I, and all these other ones can have intelligent conversations. Like, we're not stupid people. We know what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? We can carry a conversation. You know what I mean? Just because I speak like this, just because Trinity speaks like this, it don't make us stupid people. You know what I mean? So it's
guaranteed, bro.
It's just about, you never know who you're gonna meet. You know what I mean? And just because you meet this person in a certain environment that's been told to you to be a certain way, you automatically judge this person. But at the end of the day, this is a human being, and there's no other person on the planet like this individual or their experiences. And for me, I just, you know what I'm saying? That intrigues me. Like I be seeing people, man, who are you, and what the hell have you been through?
Right, because everybody been through something, bro.
Everybody been through something, man.
And that's why I say too about the course too. Like, you can't just say this is this regardless. Like, shit is situational, man. Every person that gets killed is not the same situation. Maybe he was trying to kill me and I defended myself. Maybe I was fighting. He hit me, I hit him, he fell down, hit his head and died. Like, it shouldn't be across the board. If somebody dies, you go to prison for life. You see what I'm saying? It's like, people got to understand situations, man. Shit is situational, and that got to be taken in. They say they take it into account, but they really don't, man. They really don't. But it's like you said, everybody got a story, and people look at people and they prejudge all the time, man. They do. Oh, this guy just wants to be this. They don't really understand. Like, I don't think I'm not white. That would be fucking insane.
Yeah.
I just got some type of draw. And I don't really know.
Because you got to draw. You like to wear your hair in braids. You got some black influence because you was raised in the hood, but now you don't want to be white. You want to be black.
Right. But what they don't understand is I got an advantage, man. Because I was raised around in a Mexican neighborhood back and forth. I was raised in my hood, black hood. I've been around white folks. I've been around everybody, man. I'm like the United Nations around this bitch. I could sit down and conversate with anybody and be me and be comfortable, and we could chop it up and really talk about some shit. And that's what people ain't really able to do, and people need to be able to do, man. Because that little I want to say political correctness, man, is almost a problem. I mean, you don't want to hear what every single asshole is thinking, but in the way you do, man, because you want to know who the fuck you dealing with.
Amen.
And if they're too scared, to say anything, see, that's another thing, like an advantage I have, man, because I'm gonna say what I say, and people know I come from a place where, okay, he been through some shit, he done had front row seats to this shit. So I'm not going to shy away, if I say this and that, you know what I mean? I'm going to speak on it. And I could do that. Now, another white person might catch the flux behind that shit. You know, you know what the fuck you talk about, and jump down their throat. But at the end of the day, you got to allow people to speak, man. You should always keep it respectful, but people shouldn't have to be in fear of any little thing they say, because you'll never get to the bottom of nothing. You'll never get to know nobody. Let
me ask you this here on what you're saying. Prison politics, man, right? So...
Right.
Just so the world could understand, right? If I'm your cellie, or maybe the cellie's not a good one, but let's just say I come and I steal something from you, right?
Right.
Nobody sees me steal anything from you, but you know that I'm the one that stole the stuff from you, right?
Right.
Can you come attack me just based off of what you know?
Well, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to see who are you, who's your people, And a lot of times you're going to take it to them first. Hey, man, what's up with this, man? It just depends on the person you are or the politics you're going to play. Now, you got some loose cannons that's just going to do what they want. But at the end of the day, if you don't know, your people probably going to be like, man, you gotta know before you know what I mean? Whoever's around you, like, man, you can't just go off some shit. You don't have no proof. You don't have no facts.
Right.
Who are you, the courts?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
So the point of what Trinity and I is saying is you have cars, which we've discussed before, right? You have groups. So
right.
Trinity may be part of another group. Now, if we're in the same group, it may be a different story. But if Trinity's a gang member, right, or in another group,
or religion or whatever, yeah, just friends.
Right. I just cannot just walk up and just attack this man because other people are going to be like, well, what the hell's going on? Why you attack this dude? Well, he stole my shit. Well, how do you know he stole your shit? You know what I mean? Did you see him? How do you know it was him? And if I can't answer that, I'm just going off assumption, right? Then there's going to be repercussions that come back on me. And the reason why I say that is because this is what we do out in society. We're running around making accusations against people without any factual evidence. We're calling people racist. We're calling people murderers. We're calling people these things just because it may appear that way. You see what I'm saying? But that's not really what it is.
Do your research, shit. That's what motherfucker got. Motherfucker don't research shit, man. And you can't do no bias research. You got to research it from every angle. You can't just tell the same people that's already saying this shit and go listen to more of what the fuck they saying. Check it all out. Get all the information and then make a decision. But you're right, man. The fucked up thing is we probably better politicians than the politicians. Mm-hmm. If it was up to us to get shit done, and here we get shit done, man. Motherfuckers stop. It's people, not me per se, but it's people that they keep knuckleheads from jumping shit off. To keep the people. Motherfuckers don't want to be living in turmoil in this bitch all the time. You see what I'm saying? You got people that show God, hey, man, think this shit through. What are you talking about? Make this shit make sense. And if you can't make it make sense, then it ain't gonna work. So it's like you said, man, people know, and that's one thing we have to do in here is we have to communicate, and we have to, you know what I mean, have some type of sense about ourselves, and really have to deal with the politics. And it's crazy because the actual politicians act like gangs, man. They don't give a fuck what you say. If you're for it, they're against it. Period. It don't matter if it helps everybody in the world. Oh, you're for it? I'm against it. Period. And that's fucked up. It's fucked up when a bunch of prisoners who everybody look down on could do a better job at getting results with the political shit than the motherfuckers who's been voted into office, man, who are acting like thugs and gang members. I ain't trying to be biased on one side or the other, man. Republicans, they act like gang members, and so do Democrats, man. They tribal as fuck. And it's not, it's one country, man. It's one nation. There's many states that make up one, man, and motherfuckers need to do shit for the nation, man, and really get together and figure this shit out, man, because if all you do is take your stance and stand on that and gridlock everything, ain't everybody suffering. Ain't nobody winning, man. That shit is stupid, man. You in there to solve issues. Get in there and solve that shit. You're going to have to give something, you're going to have to give something. It's a little push and pull, man. I really hope I'm not cutting into DeMille time. What
is what I was cutting? Are you tied down? Do they got you shackled to the chair?
No, I ain't. No. This not that type of level. But what it is this an old visitor room. Ain't nothing in here but me and a phone. And there's no COs nowhere.
What if you knock on the door?
If I knock on the door, they might hear, but the control center around and down the hall, and maybe if they're listening in, maybe they'll just notify somebody that if the mail's out there, they could bring him in or something like that, because I'm sure they're listening in. But I could try to go knock on the door. Hold on real quick while I go try to knock on the door and see what happens there.
Okay, at least if you find out, because they might be tied up with count.
Yeah, they might. It's usually clear by now, though, but let me see. Hold on.
And let my people go, man. Let these people go, man. Man, you know how productive this man could be out in society for real? Come on, man. Stop it.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the mercy of these people right now. We kind of are, bro. Like, I don't want to just not chop it up and waste the opportunity, but I really want y'all to hear from DeMille, so hopefully they get that figured out, man, because hey, the brother, man, me, I'm not gifted at public speaking, or I'm figuring this shit out as I go. I've always been like, didn't want no attention, and
No, you've been great, man. You've been great, man. You really.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. Like I just do it. I just jump off into it. But hold on, real quick. Try to catch somebody walking by, but he just kept going. It's just getting it done. Once I push play, I'm gone. I'm all gas on this bitch, but there's always a little nerves. Listen, man, I could be innocent as fuck, and if the police pull me over, I get to sounding guilty like I did everything, because I don't know, that comes to talking about shit. Just chopping it up one-on-one or the people, that's easy.
Yeah.
But put me in front of a crowd, I had to work on that, bro. But like I say, it's just I just just jump over them hurdles, man. I figured it out. That's all you can do. And I definitely got a message, so I definitely want to communicate my message. And in order to do that, I got to talk. And the more people that listen, the better. So fuck whatever my hang-ups is about it. But this brother, he moved. He good, man. I
know he's back there too. I know. Cause y'all were chomping at the bits, huh? I know y'all were like waiting for today.
Man. We last night once they had confirmed that we want to do it, man. We was all out, all three of us, man, talking to each other, man, smiling and like, just talking about.
So I know he's back there right now. Like, man, I'm supposed to be up there.
Guaranteed, he probably up here. Hold on, let's see if I catch him.
Y'all bear with this. This is what we got to go through, man. This the inconsistencies and even though they're helpful and they want to do these things, and such, but
see, what I need to do is catch somebody going. Oh, here we go. Boom. We got one. Should I just leave the phone off? All right, I'm gone, man. Y'all have a good one. Here comes the mail, man. I appreciate you, Thomas, and I appreciate you people for listening.
One love, man.
Yeah, all right, bro. Thank you.
FreeMe Podcast.